Hello, Loy Machedo, Sweeney from LoyMachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Today the date is 2nd January 2018. Time right now is 3:55 in the morning. I got up at 12. Because I wanted to complete some work. I ended up, I think, first answering at least 6,000 emails and messages, because it was pretty much a lot. So I cleared that off. People wanted to be added up to my WhatsApp groups. Lots of emails to clear up. Lots of Facebook messages to answer. Pending clients for 2017. So once I finished all that work, now I'm actually moving to the YouTube videos. So what I wanted to do was just give you a roundup for all the things that have happened to me in 2017, so that anything that you want to pick up, you can pick up. Anything that helps you might help you. So this video is going to be more about what happened in 2017, some of the lessons learned and experiences had. So I'll be putting the timestamp as well. So let's move on to the first timestamp. Okay, the decision to move to Thailand. Now, I had, for those of you who follow me know that I stayed in Dubai for 40 years. And being in Dubai kind of is nice. It's really an expensive place, but it gives you the best luxury. It is one of the most secure places in the world. It's really a nice place to be if you can stay there for a few years. But the drawbacks, even though are pretty few, are pretty powerful. Now, one of the biggest drawbacks is you stay in Dubai, you stay in the Middle East for so many years, you're not actually a citizen there. So the day you have to leave, when you reach 50 or 60, you say goodbye and you leave Dubai. And then you come up to a new place where nobody knows you, you have not built relationships with anyone. So you're not actually close. And then your heart and your mind is yearning for those memories. So that's not something which I wanted to do. My question was, if I'm going to leave Dubai anyway, I might as well leave when I'm at the top of my game, when I have another 20 more years to earn money. So that's why I decided that I would leave Dubai before it was too late, because once you're 60 and you move away, nobody wants to deal with a 60-year-old. So I'm 40, I can still create a brand, I can still afford to make mistakes. And I left when I had a sizable chunk of money, at least $500,000. So I left that time and I had to start all over again in Thailand. So that was the first most important thing. And moving from Dubai to Thailand was, I thought I had covered all my bases. I thought I had done all my homework, but unfortunately, it was a learning lesson. So this is one more thing which you need to consider is when you're moving, you suddenly start bumping, your head just bangs into a wall for things that you never expected. I never expected the lawyer or the company that I would approach would actually try to not cheat me, but they didn't actually know what were the rules of getting a visa for an Indian passport holder, and because of which I nearly ended up not being in Thailand, not being anywhere. Imagine, I shipped all my goods to Thailand. I paid money in advance for the lawyer. I paid money in advance 1 year for my house, everything else. And then the lawyer who I paid money tells me, oh, I'm sorry, maybe I can't help you with your visa. So that was a really stressful period, which took over almost 2 months of my time. Unexpected expenses popped up, whereby I had to come back to Dubai. I had to sort out my visa, the legal regulations. That was a really scary and disturbing phase that I went through. And after that, when I came down here, I had to start all over again. I had to run helter-skelter. So it was really a tough time to me. I would say that this 1 year has been nothing but trying to adjust to the Thai culture, okay? To adjust to a new place. Now, let me put a timestamp so I speak to you the next point, 4:38. the most important thing that I have learned after coming down here to Thailand is how important it is to ensure that you have an online profile, that you have a brand that you can actually carry with you anywhere. I think this was by far one of the smartest moves that I made in life, is creating an online brand, putting up blogs, putting up videos. None of them went viral, but it at least established a presence online. And the second smartest thing that I did was selling my services on a freelance basis. Now, because I was able to do that, I was able to move from Dubai and come here. However, if I didn't do that and I had left Dubai, I don't know what I'd be doing. I guess I would have to work for someone. I guess I would have to become an employee once again. I would have to start my life all over again from scratch, which is a really terrible thing to do. I think it's very necessary for you to create your brand online. If you're looking for a life of freedom, if you're looking for a life where you can work anywhere, go anywhere, start anything, anywhere, anytime. So you really need to establish yourself online. One of the regrets that I have is I should have taken an online internet marketing course from a really reputed source. The problem is all these guys who are online, who offer you these courses to learn or be successful online, they give you so much of fluff. Like almost 80% of what they say is fluff. Only 20% is actually worthwhile. And it all comes down to, like they'll say, create content and market. They will never give their trade secrets, never ever give their trade secrets. And it's very, very hard if you are trying to find the actual trade secrets of how to succeed online. None of these guys give you because they don't want to give you. And if they give you everything, I mean, no one's going to subscribe. The one thing which I've realized with these online internet marketers is they don't want competition, so they're not going to tell you the trade secrets. That's just the true fact. So it's very necessary for you to create your online brand. And this is one of the reasons why I was successful in moving from Dubai and coming to Thailand, where I've cut my expenses by 50% or even 80%. And today I'm able to live a really comfortable life. So that is very, very important. Okay, that's in terms of online brand. The next point that I'll just put a timestamp. It is being cheated by people. This is something which kind of shocked me as to how people change their colors. Now I know that I've been telling people that when you don't have your position of power, when you don't have money, people actually change their colors. But to actually go through it, to actually experience it, is a different thing. I had my closest friend, the closest friend who I thought was like my family, whom every single day would give me assistance, help, advice. Even if I asked him financial help, $10,000, $20,000, he would give it to me, and I would pay him back. However, when I asked him at my moment of need to really help me because I was making this very important decision to change, he refused to help me because it didn't fit into his plan of how my life should be. To my surprise, one of even my mentors, whom I had such an amazingly close relationship, whom I've been like, we have been like family. When I asked him just help me with $50 or $100, he even refused that. He said yes, but then he chickened out. And to my surprise, I never expected him to actually not pick up my phone calls or ignore me. So that was another thing. Another really shocking part came when a friend of mine, who I'm not joking, he used to literally offer to send his Rolls Royce to pick me up, to meet him at his 5-star hotel, which he is the owner of, to spend time with him. He is a millionaire. So he really wanted me to work with him, collaborate. However, when he came to know that I was under financial problems, he refused to even see me. So, when your trust is being cheated off in this way, when you have people who say that I'll be there for you no matter what, and they're not there, I think it really is a wake-up call. I saw a lot of people change their colors. They thought I was finished. They thought it's over. And that is where they really show your true colors. So this was a wake-up call for me. Once again, I've been through it so many times, but then it's always good to experience this so that you know who your friends are. And here's a piece of advice I'll give you. Always show that you're not very successful. Always show that you're below what you tend to show, or what you really are, because then you'll really come to know who your friends are, who your enemies are. And you will come to know whether people really want to help you or don't want to help you. And most of the time, people keep these relationships only because they want to benefit from you. Okay. So next timestamp is 10:04. So what has been the major change of leaving Dubai versus coming here? Major change. Let me write that. Major change. Dubai is a very happy life. It's very. It offers you a lot of luxury. However, people don't think that, you're earning $10,000, for example, you're earning $10,000 and you actually end up spending $9,990 or $9,800. So you're left with only $50 or $100 or $200. So you're earning $10,000 and you're spending 99%. This is what people don't think about. Now, given a choice, if I were to ask you, do you want to earn $10,000? Do you want to earn $2,000? Obviously, you'll say, I want to earn $10,000. But then when you calculate your expenses and your savings, like in Dubai, I was earning $10,000. I'm spending $9,800 to have a good life. I was saving only $200. While here, for example, in Thailand, I earn $2,000, but I spend only $500. So in Dubai, it's luxury, great life, but I'm saving only $200. In Thailand, it is average, living a good life, but I'm saving $1,500. So $500 versus $1,500. So it's like 3 times more I'm saving here. So that's what I realized in terms of Thailand. So Thailand is a very simple life. It's not as glamorous as Dubai. Dubai, you don't have a choice. You have to pay the money, you have to pay the luxury, you have to pay the expenses. And the ROI, return on investments, are scarce. There are a lot of risks of being in Dubai. You can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money, so it depends. But given a choice between Dubai as well as Thailand, I think I would prefer to be in Thailand. But given a first choice, I would recommend be in your country of origin than anything else. But if you're migrating, go to a country that gives you citizenship, because in the long run, it's a citizenship that will help you. If you're not a citizen of the country, you have nowhere else to go. So this was one of the major changes. Now, regrets in life at the age of 40. Let me just put the timestamp, 12:16. Regrets of my life at the age of 40. I would say one of my major regrets is, let me just put this timestamp. Okay, one of my biggest regrets at the age of 40 is I'm not actually a citizen of any country. Even though I'm Indian, I have an Indian passport. I'm not staying in India. I'm in Thailand, and Thailand doesn't give you citizenship, at least easily. So that's a pretty disappointing thing. If I could go back in time at the age of 20, I think I'd migrate to Canada. At least I'd get a Canadian or Australian or American citizenship. So at least, you have a base somewhere. That is not there, which is my biggest regret. I'm pretty disappointed about that. But having said that, I would say that there's no better place than the present. Had I been somewhere in Australia, Canada, or US, I think, given the way these countries operate, they sue each other, there are lawsuits, and there are so many other variables. No matter how hard you think you would succeed in a country, keep this in mind. Nobody would accept you as a first-class citizen unless you are born and raised in that country. So there will always be that racist factor, the racism which is there. So I'm not saying Canada, or Australia, or America is racist, but if you look at the top positions, the topmost all across the board, there's only 1 or 2 of a different nationality. Majority are born, brought up of their country. So yes, there is that regret. I wish I would have stayed in a country that offered me citizenship. That's the only regret that I have. The only other regret that I have is maybe I didn't save as much. So that's maybe the only other thing. I spend a lot of time enjoying each and every moment of my life. And the third regret, if I have, is the time that I spend in bodybuilding and exercise. It's an amazing experience, which I think is priceless. I've experienced bodybuilding, taking steroids, being strong, being an athlete, doing a triathlon, I mean, I can literally look at myself with pride, knowing that I was a triathlete. I was cycling, swimming, and running. It's an amazing sport. I have been a marathon runner, so that's an amazing experience. But the amount of time I spend in all these sports, I don't think it actually gives me an ROI right now. So that has been kind of one of my regrets. Okay, so now the next one, let me put a timestamp. That's 15. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just put it up here. 15. So setting up. Now, let me just get this sorted out, guys. And regrets. Okay, setting up. Now, what is one of the biggest parts of setting up? When you move from one country to another and you're setting up in a new place, I think what I would recommend is go visit the place a couple of times. First as a tourist. Go visit the place, enjoy the scenery, whatever it has to offer. That's first. However, after that, I think you need to come the second time, third time, fourth time. You need to come at least another 5 to 10 times so that you come not as a tourist, but you come as a local. And don't stay as a tourist, stay as a local people do, stay as the normal individuals do. Experience what it is. Meet up with the local people, talk to them, make friends, live like a normal local person, find out what they eat like them, find out how much they spend like them, find out what are the businesses running, spend time in the business, see is there any returns, find out what is their rent, how much are they paying, how much are they making, all these factors you need to keep in mind, and then ask yourself, if you were to migrate to this place, how much money would you earn? What services would you do? What services would you sell? What products would you buy and sell? And you might think your idea is absolutely innovative. You might think that you're one of a kind, but that's not the case. Whatever idea you've thought of, somebody has already done it. So the name of the game is finding out whether you can survive or cannot survive. And keep this in mind that whatever idea or thought, someone has already thought about it. Whatever business you're thinking, someone has already done it. So it's always recommended to see an established business, copy everything that they do, and try to improve and make it better. But keep in mind, there are a lot of factors you may not think about. Let's say, for example, you try to copy someone's business exactly the way and you're doing well. Maybe that guy has contacts and connections in the government or the local population, and he can get you threatened and thrown out. And I've seen this happen in many other countries. So be careful. So when you're thinking of setting up, please keep these in mind. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes people do in Thailand, where setting up a business is concerned, almost everyone thinks that they can set up a restaurant. Almost everyone thinks they can set up a massage parlor. Almost everyone thinks they can set up a tourist company, a bike rental shop, or something that everyone else has done. And this is a major, absolutely ridiculously major mistake, because you will shut down your business and you'll close down and you'll go back. And I've seen this happening, at least 18 to 19 businesses in and around my area, just my area, small area. How many people opened up restaurants? Can you believe a British guy opening up a British restaurant in an island that has full of Thai people? It didn't make sense. Then, even more stupid mistake is a foreigner coming and opening up a Thai restaurant in Thailand. How stupid can you be? Then you have people opening massage parlors when there are every third shop is a massage parlor. So you really need to keep this in mind when setting up shop in a new country. So come down a couple of times, see what can you do, be very practical, only then you can succeed. So this is where setting up a business is concerned. Let me put the timestamp, 1838. Okay. Now, in terms of learning the Thai culture and language, these are some of my observations where the Thai people and the Thai culture is concerned. They are kind of reserved people. They have their own culture. They like to be very reserved. They're very family oriented. They are very, they have their values, which are very, very strong. They like to be a family that stays together, lives together. They have this community where they talk and exchange information. They're very hospitable, but however, they still have this thing, you're a foreigner. So no matter how close you think you can be with them, you'll always be a foreigner. It's not, even this modernization, I think this TV phenomenon is still very new. They still get very influenced by being white. Almost all of them want to be white. They want to be fair-skinned. They love the white skin because they think white skin is royalty. So there are a lot of these products which are available in 7-Elevens and in shops which are like collagen or look white or bleach your skin or look fair. In fact, all the ads that you see in Thailand, all of them look white. In fact, my wife also, even though she's a farmer, she wants to look white. She is hoping that our baby looks white, and she doesn't want to be dark. So, this thing is that if you're light, you are attractive. If you're dark, you're not attractive. So that's one thing which I found pretty strange in terms of the Thai culture. They're very hardworking, at least many of them are. I think one of the biggest problems in Thailand is the alcohol, because it's free. You can freely drink alcohol. I think that is one major problem. And there's also, in some places, I've not seen it because I don't go out, they say drugs. But fortunately for me, I've never been outside. I don't interact with people who drink alcohol or do drugs. I'm never there, so I don't know. But out of the documentaries that I've seen on BBC World and Journeyman, it seems drugs seems to be a major problem, and it's a very serious crime in Thailand. Please don't get into it. Don't think about it. Stay away from it. The punishment for drugs, it's like per gram, it's 10 years. So you can get up to 50 years imprisonment. You can even get death sentence, death by lethal injection. So I'm not into drugs. I don't endorse drugs. Don't get into drugs. Please stay away from drugs. And that's why I keep away. In fact, today when I was with my wife walking in the dark, one guy with a motorbike came right in front of me, and I don't know, was asking, do you want to be picked up, dropped, asking location. So that's one other thing. There's always this thing that you're being a foreigner, you're very rich, so they will charge you much more, which is very common. But overall, I would say Thai people are amazing. I love the Thai people. I really think they're amazing human beings. On this island, I have more of Thai friends. I have no foreigners who are my friends. I keep away from them, not because they're bad or anything. It's just we're very different. I have met a couple of Russians. They're very nice. A couple of British nationals. They've been friends. But overall, I just keep away from most of the foreigners. I don't know. It's just not my thing. Smoking, drinking, going to parties, pubs. It's not my thing. I still don't understand the culture of being in a pub, having a pint and sitting and talking to your mates. That's not my kind of thing. It's never been. I have a lot of things to do. So that's with regards to Thailand and the Thai culture. Then relationship, there's a couple of things that I just want to share with you in terms of relationship mistakes that I made in Thailand. I don't know if it's applicable anywhere else. When I was choosing a wife, when I decided that I wanted to get married, I registered on ThaiCupid.com. I registered on Shadi.com, which is the Indian site, on Parsips, on Match.com, on all these other, so many websites. I registered, paid a premium, and I was sending close to, I think, 500 templates. Hi, my name is so-and-so, just more about myself. I sent to 500 girls a day, 500, almost 500, yeah. Every single day. I did it for a year. Out of, I would say, maybe let's say 5,000 or 50,000 emails that I sent, let's say I made friends with 500 of them. I got responses. I spoke to them, out of which 100 of them added up on Facebook, tried to get to know, out of which I met 6. And out of the 6, one girl, there were 2 or 3 girls I really wanted to get married. One of them I wanted to get married, but she, right from day one, she was interfering in all my personal things, which I didn't like. What are you doing? Why are you doing? Don't spend so much time at work. Come, let's go out, hold hands. And yet it's not going to work. The other girl who I really liked, but she was always chatting and speaking on the phone, I knew it's not going to work. Then the girl I really did almost get married to, who tattooed my name on her chest, on her breasts, she had a baby from someone else, and her loyalty was more towards her first ex-husband than me. And she took a sizable chunk of money, and she went off, and I lost that money forever. So that was a mistake from my side. I fell for it emotionally. But I'm glad that she took that money and went away, because I could have lost a lot more had I trusted her and given her my bank accounts and everything else. And she went off, and yeah, that was it. And finally, I married the girl who I married. She's 25, and she's from the village. An amazing girl. I got to know her family, and so I think in terms of relationships, you need to be very straightforward. What you want, what you do not want. Put all your rules and regulations in writing. Be very straightforward and upfront. And ask them tough questions. I asked them, what would you do if I had sex with someone else? How do we break up the relationship? I don't have any money. Is that a problem? You need to work. I'm not going to take care of you. So I asked all these tough questions, and I saw their responses. Many of them, when they come to know you don't have money, they're not interested to be with you. Many of them, when they know that they're going to have a tough life, they don't want to be around with you. So that helped me filter out and find out the best of the best. And like I say, take your time in hiring the person, like in management, take your time in hiring the person, but be quick in terminating the relationship. So I said goodbye very, very fast to a lot of women, and that saved me a lot of headache. So I'm just lucky that I got the best girl, and I'm pretty proud of her, really happy. Next one, 2549. Marriage. Now, it has been surprisingly 6 years, 6 months. What am I saying? 6 years, 6 months since I got married. One second. So what are the lessons that I learned after 6 months of marriage? You need to be very sure who you're getting married to. Make sure that you select a person by knowing the family. And the family is good if you can get along with the family. If the family is simple, the girl is also simple, and you like the girl also. So it's very important to know the family. It's very important that, I'm speaking from my perspective as a guy, it's very important that the girl doesn't demand or doesn't say, I'm equal to you. I want equal rights like you. And if the girl is like this feminazi, it's better to say bye. My wife treats me like the leader. My wife gives me the authority. You're the boss. You see what is right for us. And that really helps out in the relationship. She does her part. I do my part. We've had 3 arguments until now in 6 months. It's primarily with her getting lazy because of the luxuries. You need to understand that she comes from a farmer's background where they really work hard 8 to 12 hours a day. So from there, 8 to 12 hours of working in the sun, now she's sitting at home, she doesn't have anything to do. So she started to get these bad habits of just being on the phone, chatting and just watching YouTube videos, which I don't mind, but you need to do your part of the work. I'm doing my part of bringing in revenue for the family, taking care of the family. You need to do the housework. So either you work outside and I work outside, we both work and we earn money. Or if you don't do that, then if you're doing housework, you need to do the housework. So I wanted a housewife. That was my terms and conditions. So I shouted at her once, twice. A couple of times I shouted, 6 or 7, 8 times, but shout is not an extreme shout, but the 3 times were really bad. Bad as in just shouting, just shouting. And I was very explicit. I said, you want to make the relationship work, fine. You don't want to work, it's better we call it off. I'm pretty straightforward that way. And she's really afraid of losing the relationship, because even if she shows me an attitude, it's goodbye. I'm prepared to break up. I've been married 3 times. I don't need to take a headache. I need to focus on my work. And she really had the heart to say, no, I want this relationship to stick on. And that has made the relationship work. So I know I can be portrayed as a bad guy, but there are certain rules, regulations to make a relationship work. And that's what has worked for me, at least. And it's working beautifully. She is doing all the work. I give her plenty of freedom. She can dress however she likes, go anywhere she wants, do whatever she wants. She has absolute freedom. The only thing is just do your part of the housework, because I have to do my part of the housework of taking care of the family. You need to take care of the house and support me, just as I support you. So it's a two-way thing. So it's working beautifully. Communication is very important. Transparency is extremely important. She has access to all my passwords, to my internet, to my banking accounts, everything she has access. She can check anytime she wants anything. I don't do anything without informing her. Even if a girl sends me a nude photographs or even sends a video of her masturbating. I show it to my wife. I don't have anything kept hidden. I literally tell her everything. Even the time I tell her, I'm looking at this girl, I feel horny. And she says, should I satisfy you? So that's how it should be. And my wife even tells me, oh, I'm feeling a little frisky right now. I'm feeling horny, or I'm feeling romantic, or I'm upset, or I'm not feeling too well today. I don't feel like doing housework. So whatever, you need to have that sense of complete honesty with each other. Only then the relationship will work. And like, for example, I told her I'm getting up at 12 to do work, and she said, absolutely okay. I respect her freedom. She respects mine. So that's how it is. So these are some of the tips in terms of marriage, which is very important. Okay, 16. Okay, the mistakes that I made in terms of financial mistakes. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made was I invested in a gym, home gym. I thought I would do exercise, invested $10,000, which was a sizable sum of money. I thought I would do exercise. That's not happening. Need to do exercise, yes, but that's one big mistake. I thought I would take up a blog and show my exercise regimen. That has not happened, but the project is still there. So that's one financial mistake that I made. The other thing was trusting people and giving them loans. 100%, whomsoever you give a loan to, you'll not get the money back. So please do not give loans to anybody, especially your closest friends. If you give the money, just make sure that you'll never get it back. So that's one thing. If you give money to someone, expect that you'll never get it back. And if you can do that, then that's fine. Others don't give it. The other thing that I did was, initially I thought it was a mistake. I invested in creating another brand, that is thinkpersonalbranding.com. In hindsight, I wasted almost 4 months creating that brand from scratch, which was once again a mistake. Should have focused on making Machedo.com better. But then again, you learn from it. And now that I've spent 4 months creating that brand, now I've created 3 brands and I let it there. Actually, nothing is happening in terms of that brand, but then I've kept it because now it is a separate entity by itself. So those were the 3 big mistakes that I did financially. I would say those are the real big ones. Okay. Now, 31:56. Just want to put the timeline. One of the other things that I did notice was rebranding. Rebranding is not a simple, easy exercise. My whole experience with rebranding my website has been a real eye-opener. I mean, you get so many of these websites that say you can make millions, you just need to create a website, you're going to earn money. It's not as simple as that. There are a lot of other factors, even creating tags, being on top of the SEO game, getting people to pay you money to buy into your program. That's a lot of work. So please don't think that you can just change your website from A to B and B to C and C to D. Doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. And if you really put that effort, time and money, only then you'll succeed. Others you cannot succeed. So rebranding, even yourself, is a major, major decision. So think about it wisely. And also speaking about rebranding yourself, let me just write this, rebranding myself. Let me just write it. I have been creating websites. I've been creating websites for quite some time. So that's how my profile has been known. However, I had to make sure that I was visible through other websites. So that is where I started writing on Quora. I started writing on Medium. I started writing as a freelance writer in other websites and connecting their websites to my website to theirs. So that has really helped me in terms of growth in the SEO factor. That's very, very important. Otherwise, you'll not succeed. So keep this in mind. And rebranding yourself is not only changing your website, it's changing you, offering new services, new rates, new services. Now, unless you can't do that, there's no point of talking about rebrand. So let me just put a timestamp, 33:50. One of the important things that I did find out in terms of being online is each website has a different look and feel. Like Quora is more like there's a question, you give an answer, and if you put a different answer or a weird answer, you get more fans and followers, you get big numbers. But then again, the question is, what are you planning to do with that popularity? Okay, you're pretty famous, you get so many views and so many upvotes. What's next? What's next for you as a brand? How do you make money? YouTube, at least you can make money. how do you make money on Quora unless, of course, you are a professional? So that's one very important thing. So that is where Medium came into place. Medium is much more professional. You need to create your brand from scratch. You need to give articles of value, and you obviously cannot just get away with anything. Reddit is another thing which I'm moving into now. I've got a new guy who is guiding me in terms of Reddit, which is brilliant. I really am curious about Reddit, which is very, very important. And Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com. I registered, but I'm not actually very enthusiastic because it's more like positioning yourself as just as a writer or blogger, which doesn't actually drive me so much. So nothing much happening there. Let me put a timestamp, 3509. Now this one is regards to my WhatsApp group. Many people want to join my WhatsApp groups that I've created, but what they don't seem to understand is these WhatsApp groups are just created more like to have a get-together of similar age groups. So I have 0 to 19 one group, 19 to 29 one group, 29 to 39 one group, and 39 onwards. I have these groups. And I put these people there, and I'm not actually very active other than giving 1 or 2 posts or interacting them once a while. So it's not actually kind of like you join my group and your life is going to change, or I'm going to sit and mentor you for free. I do let them know when I'm going to be online, when they can interact with me. I share with them worthwhile posts. I share with them worthwhile tidbits of knowledge. I interact with them only when necessary, but that's about it. Otherwise, in these groups, I don't micromanage. Sometimes you get almost like one day I just received like 500 messages in less than 2 hours. Okay, that is one group. Imagine I have 11 groups. So these are my WhatsApp groups, and I've, I always leave my number. So if anyone wants to join my groups, they can join my groups, and that's how it goes. But I create these groups as a win-win situation. I don't create these groups I created this group for your benefit. No, it doesn't work well that way, two-way. And I'm not going to sit and mentor anyone one-to-one. I let them know you want one-to-one sessions, you need to pay money for it. Unless, of course, you're going out of the way to really do something for me, and then I might consider giving you a discount. Otherwise, no, I don't. So that's in terms of my WhatsApp groups. I just wanted to put a shout out. Wait, let me put the time, 36:49. Okay. I want to let you know about keeping a mastermind group, which I always believe is very, very important. The reason I succeeded on Quora is because of my relationship with this guy. He gave me the advice on Quora, and he's hardly, I think, in his 20s. He gave me advice on Quora, and that is how I succeeded on Quora. And now I want to move into Reddit. And I, again, got a young boy who's only 16 or 17. He's guiding me on Reddit, which is just simply incredible. So I think it's very important to have these mastermind groups of people who really guide you. I have someone in terms of Google. He's an ex-employer of Google. I have someone in terms of creating videos online. So you need to have these mastermind groups of people who help you towards your goal, and you help them towards their goals. And I think this back and forth really helps. So it's very important to keep mastermind groups if you have to succeed. I have a couple of these groups, and I'm planning to expand on this particular group of mine, but this one is super exclusive. You cannot join my group unless you have something of benefit for me. Only then I might consider you joining, and obviously I need to offer you something of value. Others, it doesn't work out. So if you want to succeed, you really need to create mastermind groups. And finally, last but not the least, this one is a exciting little news. 3809. Many people have been complaining that my voice is not very good when I speak to them online. I've been speaking through the iMac through this. So there have been always questions like, why don't you have a microphone? So finally, I am buying a microphone. In case you want to know what is the microphone that I'm buying, I don't want to keep it a secret. I'll just share it with you. The microphone that I'm buying is, after doing research, I actually wanted to buy the Yeti, YETI, Yeti microphone, which is very, very popular, very famous, has sold more than 5,000 units. However, I decided to go for the Rode, RODENT, the USB condenser microphone. The reason I decided to go in for it is because it has a higher degree of clarity. It has a higher degree of clarity, and it's more like it picks up your voice much more clear. I did want to go in for the Shure microphone, but then you need to use an XLR connection with a mixer, which I didn't want 2 or 3 things. So for now, I think the Rode NT USB is good enough until I would say that I have maybe 50,000 subscribers or 100,000, then maybe I might go into for the Roadstar. That's another better one. Or the Show microphone is the one Joe Rogan uses. So that's one of the other exciting bits that I wanted to share with you. So anyway, this is what has been happening with law, in my life, and I just thought I'd give you the musing for 2018. Hey, and one last thing which I definitely wanted to share, 39, 40, which I've actually said. I'll be creating a separate video with regards to this. But this New Year resolutions that people have, and this New Year drama that goes on. I mean, come on, guys, grow up. Just because you made a New Year resolution doesn't mean you're going to stick to it. If you do not stick to your resolutions month by month, week by week, if you don't stick to them, you're not going to stick to your New Year resolutions at all. Because just because it's New Year doesn't mean you have changed. Just because a New Year started doesn't mean you're going to start anything. Most of the people, they start off all excited. They start off like, yeah, I'm going to change the world. But in the end, it comes down to nothing. So I just want you to know that these New Year resolutions are bogus. You're not going to succeed unless and until you really have been doing it every day, every week, and every moment. Until that, you'll never succeed. So anyway, live from Machedo.com. It was live Machedo and Think Personal Branding, sharing with you these views. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions or comments, just let me know. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to support my channel, please pay to PayPal, lloyd@machedo.com. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, lloyd@machedo.com, or my WhatsApp number. All the information is put below. It's a pleasure speaking to you as always. And let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up, and do comment. Lloyd from Machedo.com saying goodbye for now. Take care.